Alright, so now what we're going to do is solve by factoring. But this time, I see my equation, while it is equal to 0, it's not in factored form. So what that means is this time I'm going to have to actually go ahead and factor here at the start. When I factor, I use my box. So I'm going to make my box. If you want, go ahead and pause the video. Go ahead and place everything where you think it goes in the box. And then play the video again to see if you got it correct. 2x squared minus 5x minus 12. That's where everything goes. Now I'm going to make my t-chart. Again, if you want, pause the video to see if you can do this on your own and then see if you get it correct. So when I go to my m side is going to be my a times my c, which is 2 times negative 12. 2 times negative 12 is negative 24. My a is then my middle term, negative 5. What I'm looking for is two numbers that multiply to give me negative 24, but add up to give me negative 5. So let's start at the beginning. 1 times 24, I have 2 times 12, I have 3 times 8, 4 times 6. Now, I do need a negative 24 and I need a negative 5. So that means whichever pair I pick, one of the numbers must be negative. And when those add up, they have to give me a negative 5. Well, negative 1 and negative 24, that's going to give me 23. Not what I want. So that's not even close to what I want. So I'm not even going to try flipping negative 24 on positive 1. Let's try negative 2 plus 12. That gives me 10. Still not close enough to what I want. I'm going to keep going. Negative 3 plus 8 gives me positive 5. Well, hey, that's close to what I want, but I need a negative 5. So let's just change this up. Let's make this a positive 3 and a negative 8. And that gives me negative 5. That's what I want, telling me these two numbers here are the two numbers that are going to go into my diagonal. 3x, negative 8x. I would go ahead and pause the video and start trying to find your outsides, then see if you did it correctly. Alright, so I got 2x squared. What multiplies to give me 2x squared? Well, that's 2 times x. Well, I need to decide which side is going to be that 2x and the x. If I look along this side, well, 2 times 4 gives me 8. Nothing times 2 gives me 3. That's why I'm going to put the 2x here. And then I'll put the x here. If I find out later I made a mistake, well, I can just go ahead and flip those two numbers and try again. 2x, I said, times 4 gives me 8, but I do need a negative 8x, so let's make this a negative 4. Well, negative 4 times what gives me negative 12? That would be a positive 3. And 3 times x does give me 3x, telling me I did do this correctly and I have my two factors. So I'm going to go ahead and write those down. I have 2x plus 3, x minus 4 equals 0. Now I can see I am in factored form, and I can go ahead and set both factors equal to 0 and solve for x. Why don't you try pausing the video to see if you can do this on your own and check to see if you get the correct answers. So I have 2x plus 3 equals 0, and x minus 4 equals 0. Let's start on the 2x plus 3 equals 0. So I'm going to do the opposite, subtract 3. I get 2x equals negative 3. Divide by 2. And I get x equals negative 3 halves as one of my answers. Now let's move on to the other one. Add 4 to both sides. X equals 4. That is my second answer. And with that, I am done. I know it was a lot of work, and this, whenever you have a quadratic that's not factored, it is going to be a little bit more work than the other way. But this is all the steps that you need to take.